So, Tom, is this big exit door inevitable?
Kathleen, it certainly looks that way, and certainly that's the analysis of our in-house team at Bloomberg Intelligence. I'll just give you a bit of background and remind viewers that back in November, the Trump administration, President Trump himself, signed off on this executive order that banned US investments in companies linked to the Chinese military or the Chinese security apparatus. That's what led to the NYSE last week then delisting those telecoms companies, China Unicom, China Mobile, and China Mobile, China Telecom, and China Unicom, the three big telecom players here. They were delisted from the NYSE precisely because of this executive order signed by President Trump. Now, it's the view of Bloomberg Intelligence that the energy players could likely be next. Front and center will be CNOOC, which is the biggest offshore oil and gas producer here, because that is on the list published by the Pentagon of companies, Chinese companies, that they say, the US says, has links to the Chinese military. You've also got PetroChina and Sinopec as well, potentially facing a delisting. Again, this is according to Bloomberg Intelligence. Now, China has come out and said, in response to the NYSE delisting of the Telcos companies, saying that they are going to do everything in their power to support and protect the rights of Chinese companies. They said this action from the US is groundless and reckless. But yes, it seems the focus should now shift to some of these energy giants here in China.
And Tom, as we get closer to the inauguration, are there any signs that we could see a thawing in US-China relations with the Biden administration?
Well, it certainly seems like officials here in Beijing are trying to keep the door open for this new administration to restart some kind of dialogue. And certainly we heard that from Wang Yi, the foreign minister, in a piece published on the foreign ministry's website. He said, look, we, the Chinese, were ready to sit down and talk. We're ready to start constructive dialogue. We want to have good relations with the United States. He pointed to a potential new window of hope in relations between the two sides. But he also said that the two sides and relationship had faced unprecedented difficulties, I'm quoting him, for what he said, and he blamed the US's completely wrong policies. And of course, on multiple fronts, the relationship has really plummeted, whether it's on human rights or trade or technology or the issues in Hong Kong. So, of course, there is a lot of work to do, but there is a sense here that officials are at least trying to keep the door open to try and get to some point where possibly you could get something of a reset in relations, even if that's a far-flung shot at this point. They want to keep the door open.